Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm super excited because the Moto has finally made its way to South Africa. Today in this video I will share with you all you need to know about this amazing new sail design from Severne. The Moto is one of the descendants of the Mach 6 race sail design program, which is focused on widening the wind range for each sail size. The wonderful thing about this is that the whole range of different sail sizes that you need for your spot is drastically reduced. As explained in one of my previous videos, I'll put the link up here for you, how to widen your wind range by tuning your sails. This video of mine was inspired that time by the COVID season that left me stranded with half of the sails that I actually normally order due to all the complications in the logistics. So in that time I utilized those 3 sail sizes and I maximized my range, and in the process I really learned how to fine-tune the sails. And with all the feedback that I got from that video, I really picked up that you guys were just as keen on reducing the amount of sails that you need to use by widening your wind range per sail. I was super stoked when Severne brought out the Mach 6 sail range with a drastically reduced amount of sails that you need. At the moment, my whole slalom race range consists of only 3 sails: the 7.5, the 6.5 and the 5.5. When Severne brought out the Moto, they used exactly this same concept. So in the process of designing and developing the Moto, Severne took like the best elements of their overdrive sail design and the best elements of the turbo sail design to put together all the best, strongest aspects to come up with the Moto. The Moto is basically a sail that is for everyone. Whether you do free race, free ride, it is probably the most versatile sail in the whole Severne catalogue. What really makes this sail very special is that it combines the speed and the stability that you would get from the overdrive with the lightness and user-friendliness of the Severne Turbo. For those of you who are not familiar with the Severne Turbo and the Severne Overdrive, the Severne Turbo is basically the user-friendly free race sail that rigs super easy, it's super light. It's not really that powerful and fast to do proper slalom racing with, but it's really that nice in between the NCX and then the overdrive. So it gives you a little bit more power than what you would get with a soft sail. It was in my personal journey using all the Severne sails, my way to get to use the proper full-on racing sails, which today is the Mach sails. So for me, going from totally wave sail background to total race sail background, it took some steps in between. So where I started off mainly with the gaiters, I moved over to the NCX sails, which is the soft sails but slightly more power, but still very free ride orientated. My next step up was using the Severne turbos, and that got me hooked onto slalom racing. The turbos was probably like the key changing point for me, where I realized how awesome it is to go that little bit faster and have that much more stability, but still being able to rig the sail on my own and not have any big struggles with water starting and jibing. So in that summary, in total, the turbo I would describe as the ideal like free ride sail. So then on the other hand, you have the Severne Overdrive range. These sails are basically one notch just below the racing sails. So it's the best step going from the turbo over to the overdrive and then going into the full-on racing sails. This was my personal journey from total wave sail freeride girl to full-on racing the max sails. The overdrive is really like the premium free race sail for Severne. It's got a lot more power than the turbo. It's much more orientated to racing than free riding. So now that you know the differences between the turbo and the overdrive, Severne then took these two sails and combined them into the Moto. The Moto is like a powerhouse combination of these two sail designs. It takes the stability and the power from the overdrive and also the user-friendliness and lightness of the turbo, and it puts it into one extremely versatile, powerful and user-friendly sail. It has 2 cambers and 7 buttons and a really high skin tension. These 2 elements of the Moto design makes the sail super rigid, and that gives it that top-end slalom speed, racy, responsive, powerful feel. With the Moto, Severne brought in the boom lengths and deepened the profile. They also gave it a bit more of a race-orientated leading edge. This concept increases the lift, reduces the drag, and it also helps to balance the backhand pressure. I really like to have a bit more backhand pressure on the sail. Coming from a speed background, I really like that stable, solid, locked feel, and it has all that, the same as what I found with my max sails. So this sail in its totality with these design elements is a very comfortable, effortlessly powerful, stable sail, super user friendly. It's got the pros of being like on the edge of a full-on racing sail with that speed and power and depth of the profile, and then on the other hand it's like super user friendly, easy to rig. The luff curve tapers down drastically, and that really makes it super easy to jibe and to water start. That was probably one of the first things that I noticed when I sailed with the Moto 6.8. I combined it with the Severne Fox. The first thing that I really noticed was how easy the jibing is, how easy the sail rotates, and how light the whole setup feels. So these elements makes it the ideal sail for someone who would like to be a little bit more competitive on the water without having to deal with any of the cons of using a full-on race sail. Going hand in hand with the widening your wind range theme, from the whole range of different sizes available in the Moto, starting from a 4.8 all the way up to an 8.4, you only need 3 masts and 1 boom. The Moto rigs best with an RDM Severne mast. Also, I highly recommend using the Enigma boom, and specifically the 160 Enigma boom. That boom covers the whole range of Moto sizes, from the 4.8 all the way up to the 8.4. My personal preference, due to the racing background, would be to combine the Moto with my full-on AV Modena race boards. So I would basically combine the 6.8 with the 98 AV Modena, and definitely put in a pure race fin in there. But if you want the more like free ride feel, softer contact on the water, and a bit more control in choppy conditions, like my dad, he combines it with the Severne Fox, and that gives it a really free ridey, free racy feel. It's really important to make sure your button tension is spot on. The sail is designed to have that high skin tension, so make sure especially the bottom 3 buttons is turned very tight. Because it only has 2 cams, you want to take full advantage of that deeper profile, and by tuning your button tension, that makes a big difference. Then I always emphasize to let the outhaul loose so that the sail has got enough movement in the boom. That Enigma 160 boom is so nice because it's really a wide profile. It gives the sail that much more room to move and to set in its shape without compromising or pressing or denting the sail. So don't be scared to let the outhaul really nice and loose. Almost like in a neutral position. When you are on high speed, it will really set nicely into its position to give it so much more power and stability. When you over tighten the outhaul, you will compromise that stability, especially the backhand pressure. The balance of the backhand pressure will fall through the roof and you will be dealing with a very twitchy sail, and the sail is not at all designed to be rigged like that. So make sure that you preserve that beautiful profile of the Moto. Don't be scared at first if you are really used to sailing soft sails like the NCX sails or the gaiters. Don't be scared to give the sail its room to breathe. So if you were still in two minds about whether to go full-on racing sail mode or to keep to your free race mode, this sail is definitely for you. It will cover all those aspects. It will give you the best of both worlds. It is probably, I think, also the most economic range because you only need the 3 masts and the 1 boom for that entire sail range. On the website, Severne has given a really nice guide. If you already have a turbo or an overdrive and you want to replace it with the Moto, they gave a very nice comparison table which stipulates exactly which sizes of the Moto would represent your current turbo or overdrive size. So I think this theme of Severne really marries in very well with the situation today in the world. Most people want to go smaller, live more simply, have less, and that counts for windsurf gear. So the fact that Severne went down this road really proves that they are right out there, they're listening to their riders, they're observing what the needs are. The Moto, definitely give it a try. This will be a game changer for you. Ever since my dad got his 6.8 Moto, he is now totally convinced to replace all the sails he has with only Moto sizes. So I hope this helps to understand everything you need to know about the Moto. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Remember to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all my coming videos.